Welcome back, everybody. This is the second episode of the Comic Book Club. I am Bladen. That is Joe. Today we are going to be reviewing Civil War, one of the biggest events of the 2010s in comic book history. One of the biggest events in comic book history. I mean,
Definitely.
holy! It brought the whole Cap versus Iron Man argument, revealed Peter Parker's secret identity for the first time, and had a whole lot of other stuff happen. So let's get into the review.
So, I'll start off reading the first issue. We have it in graphic novel form, but we'll go through each issue individually. I'll do the first one, Blaine will do the second one, and then I'll go back.
Yep.
And
And we
we'll
are
go
only
through.
doing the main Civil War event. We aren't doing any of the tie-ins. I know that Spider-Man had a tie-in, Wolverine had a
think
tie-in,
Fantastic
Four
Four
had a
even
tie-in, and I
So.
think there were two others I'm forgetting.
Yeah.
Young
probably,
Avengers
There's
had a
probably plenty of
tie-in.
small stuff, too.
Yeah.
So.
So we're only doing the main event.
And I think I'm going to try and get through it faster than we did.
Yeah,
with
we're
the
gonna
Dark
try and
Knight.
move it a little faster. We're not gonna leave anything out, but we're gonna gloss
Yeah.
through it a little quicker.
We'll leave smaller details, but yeah. So we open and it's a new superhero team that are doing their superheroing for TV.
The New Warriors.
Yeah. Is it the New Warriors? Something like that. But yeah. So they're filming as they're attempting to stop a group of drug dealers. They run in, guns blazing, essentially, ready to take on the villains. Speedball, I guess, is the main leader of the villain crew over here.
That's the heroes.
Is that the heroes?
Yeah, Speedball's one of the good guys.
Oh, yeah, sorry. That's the leader of the hero group, sorry. They have a line that says Speed Freak here.
Mhm.
No, that's him saying. No. Because, see, he's here and he says, I heard that clothes make the man Speed Freak, and he's not Speedball.
That is Speedball.
Why is he calling himself Speed Freak?
I don't know. He's a weird guy. I guess.
Not getting into details. Anyways, so they think they have taken out all the villains. They grab one more, and he essentially goes nuclear.
Yeah, Nitro.
And-
That's actually an interesting villain to bring up because he's the guy who killed the original Captain Marvel in the comic books.
Yeah, and so he blows up an entire city block.
elementary school.
Yeah, and school block. So then you have all the fallout of everyone trying to rescue as many people as they can, and they're trying to bring people to the hospital and talking about the different reactions to an event such as this.
Yeah, we get like Iron Man going to the funeral. We get
Yeah.
Wolverine's reaction, Spider-Man, Goliath, She-Hulk. We get all of that. Their
Fantastic
thoughts
Four's there.
on the topic.
And then at the funeral, the woman who,
I think it's Maria Sharp.
let's see if they say her name. I don't think they say her name.
It's fine.
But yeah, so she gets mad at Tony Stark and starts yelling at him about hero stuff. J. Jonah Jameson asks Peter to take pictures of the whole event. And then we cut to a news reel of talking of everything that happened. Johnny shows up at the club, I assume with his date, and they go in, and he gets bullied because of what happened.
Yeah, he gets hit in the head with a glass bottle and gets
Yep.
hospitalized.
It's broken over his head, and he gets hospitalized and brought in. Then we cut to Avengers Tower, and them having a meeting for what they should do about everything that's happened. Essentially, everyone is here at Avengers Tower. The mutants, Fantastic Four, all of them. I think even Hulk. Is that supposed to be Hulk in the background here?
Hulkling,
Hulkling.
part of the Young Avengers.
Yeah. I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember what Hulk looked
I think
like at this
he's
point in the
off-world
time,
right
so,
now.
Yeah, he's probably off-world. You got Luke Cage, which means even the Defenders are here. And then Spider-Man shows up. And then, which brings up my biggest gripe with the Civil War comics, is Spider-Man's view on all of this. Like, we'll get into that more, but just as a side note, that's one of my biggest problems with this comic. Then after the Avengers meeting, we cut to the SHIELD helicarrier, and Captain America's talking to Maria Hill, and Cap is essentially saying we're not gonna become soldiers,
Government
stooges for all this. And so Maria tells all of them to shoot him with tranquilizers. He uses someone as a shield, beats his way out of the helicarrier, and jumps off. How he gets to the ground, I don't remember.
I think it's
no. Yeah, he somehow jumped to a fighter jet that was taking off, and has him take him away. Then we go to the Baxter Building. I guess the Avengers meeting was at the Baxter Building. Was not at Avengers Tower for whatever reason.
I guess Fantastic Four in the Marvel Universe are meant to be like the most recognizable superhero team.
Yeah. And then the Watcher shows up and doesn't say anything. He's just standing there watching there. And Doctor Strange says his presence does not bode well.
It never does.
So then they have protesters and everything. They have the government writing up the essentials for
Superhero
everything they were
Registration
going to
Act,
have to register.
They're talking about bringing Cap in.
Yeah, and he talks to Iron Man, and Iron Man says, "Leave Captain America to us." And that is where we leave off for the first issue.
Yep. Now, getting into the second, we have the Vulture and the Reaper tied up and chained in Captain America's like underground lair, and then we see obviously Maria Hill searching for these two villains because she has no idea where they are. We see a thing that is actually pretty cool about this book, the same way that The Dark Knight Returns did the television screens. We get a lot of newspaper flashes in this, where we see like headlines and all that kind of stuff. So we see some newspaper flashings of like Captain America refuses to join, blah blah blah, and then we get this big robot attack that hit New York, where we see Yellow Jacket, Mr. Fantastic, She-Hulk, Iron Man, all helping out. Miss Marvel's there too.
Yeah, those who have signed this.
Those who have signed, and we see them all talking to each other about what's going on with the current superhero landscape. We then go back to the Baxter Building, where we see Reed is working on some new thing, not paying attention to his wife or his kids very much, as per usual with Reed Richards. And we see the first glimpse of what is number 42, which we'll find out what that is later on in the book. We then see the Daily Bugle, which was another tie-in book, which was like Civil War, like bullpen or something. I don't remember what it was called, but it's like reporters and stuff during the Civil War event and everything. He's talking to Robbie, and J. Jonah Jameson approves of this whole Superhero Registration Act. He doesn't approve of masked vigilantes, so he's happy that the government's finally stepping in. Yeah. And then we get our first glimpse at the Iron Spider suit in this book, which...
No. He was in the Iron Spider suit for the showing up at the Baxter Building.
He was? Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. All right. And then we see Tony talking to Happy, and we get confirmation that Captain America has not joined the side of Iron Man. Then we see 24 hours later, after the bill has passed and the Superhero Registration Act is in full effect, we see, I can't remember his name, Patriot, the leader of the Young Avengers, being hunted down by S.H.I.E.L.D. agents and shot.
I was thinking Iron Patriot for a second, and I was like,
no.
No.
Yep, he's shot, and then they blow up the building that he's currently in. It looks like an explosion to me.
Oh,
or is that just like tear gas?
I think it's just supposed to be gas. Okay. I don't remember if it's sleeping gas, because Patriot hasn't signed the Superhero Registration.
Yeah, none of the Young Avengers have. So, that's why in the next scene we see them all in handcuffs being loaded onto a truck.
Yeah. They put him to sleep and arrest him.
And then we see plans being put into place to break them out, and we see this very interesting sort of exchange between these two guards, where one of them is talking a lot to the other, and he's saying, like, I'm really happy about the Superhero Registration Act being put into effect. I'm glad that these mass vigilantes can't just run around. And then he gets knocked out by the other guard, and it's revealed, oh, shoot, it's Captain America. And him and Falcon both break out the Young Avengers, Wiccan using his teleportation powers to bring them back to the base. We see the other heroes who have joined Cap's side, like Daredevil, Cloak, and Cable. We then go to a press conference where Spider-Man and Tony Stark are standing up on stage, and we see the X-Men's reaction, Sue Storm in the hospital with Johnny's reaction. We see the Avengers, including Yellow Jacket, Wasp, She-Hulk, and the Thing is there. And then we also see Aunt May and Mary Jane's reaction, along with J. Jonah Jameson's reaction to Spider-Man unmasking himself and revealing himself as Peter Parker. And one of my favorite beats in this, as soon as Peter takes that mask off, Jameson just faints.
Yep.
He just drops to the floor. And yeah, that's the end of the second issue. I hand that back over.
Yeah. And while I do like that scene, I disagree with it completely for very many reasons.
Yep.
Mainly because, like, the quintessential part of Spider-Man is the solo aspect. Like, yeah, he's joined the Avengers many times, but he's also left the Avengers just as many times. Like, the whole point of Spider-Man...
More.
Yeah, well, obviously he's got to quit more than he's joined because...
Yep.
Actually, no, because I think the first time he sees the Avengers and they offer him, like, you can join up kind of thing, he flat out refuses.
Yeah,
so he has
no.
quit a lot more times than he's been offered to be a part of the team. But part of the reason in almost every continuity is that he is a solo act, and part of the reason he is a solo act is he does not want his identity to be known by essentially
to protect
anyone.
his family and everybody. And he does say that he did have a conversation with Aunt May and
Yeah.
Mary Jane about it, and they agreed with him.
They do
But
try and explain it away.
we all know
but-
what happens because of this decision.
Yeah, no. It was a
We're-
stupid decision. One, to reveal his identity. Two, like, I like the part a lot. I don't think it should have been Spider-Man who is the one who pulls his mask off. Admittedly, it is the most impactful because Spider-Man
He's the one who's been protecting his identity
closest
more than
protected.
anyone.
But, yeah, at the same time, because his is the most protected identity out of almost anyone, it's more frustrating that it is. But yeah, just to talk on that really quick. So getting back into it, we cut to Wakanda, and Mr. Fantastic is talking with Black Panther. We get some more newspaper clippings. We get cut to Doctor Strange, and then I think Yellow Jacket and Wasp are talking to Wong, I believe.
Yeah, I think they're trying to recruit Doctor Strange to join the side of Iron Man.
Iron Man's side.
Doesn't he say he's going on a fast?
He's gone into seclusion in his Arctic lodge in the hope that he might resolve your differences by fasting for 40 nights.
Yep.
And then they cut another news article in, and then we go to the X-Men. And Tony Stark's talking to, I believe, Emma Frost?
Yep, at this point,
Frost.
it's the Frost School for Gifted Youngsters.
Yeah. So, Captain America's talking to Frost about everything.
Tony.
Tony's talking to Frost about things.
And we get a little hint that they had a bit of a past, Tony and Emma.
Yes.
Yep, at this point, Emma Frost is dating Cyclops, and that's a whole story.
Yeah. But then Happy is driving Tony home, and I'm not sure this guy's name.
Bishop, that's Bishop.
Oh, that's Bishop?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm used to him with the long dreads.
Yeah, with the longer hair.
Yeah. But so Bishop asks Tony if they can talk. We cut to Captain America, Hercules, Daredevil, and Goliath in disguises, eating at a diner, talking through the issues they're having with the Registration Act. And then something happens, and so they go off to essentially be bigger vigilantes than they previously were. Then we cut to hospital. This is Johnny in the hospital, and he's asking where Sue went, and then we cut to a chemical plant that is in full meltdown. Full meltdown.
Quote unquote.
And it turns into a sneak attack from Captain America.
Iron Man.
On Captain America from Iron Man. I'm doing great at this, guys.
That's alright. There's a bit of a learning curve.
I'm trying to get through it quickly and not focus on so many details, which is why I'm struggling so much. Like, we went into so many more details with The Dark Knight.
Yeah, because there's only 4 issues.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to go into more detail when it's a smaller book.
the sneak attack, they manage to get Wiccan and Cloak, and so that they can't teleport out. I just want to make sure it wasn't another person. And so then it is the big face-off, essentially.
The first
big face-off. And Cap essentially ambushes back on Iron Man with a electric zapper that knocks his suit out of commission, and the fight begins. And you have Goliath fighting Giant Man, or Yellow Jacket, who has his giant powers at this point. You get a big amalgam of different heroes fighting each other.
Of people fighting,
Not gonna go into all the details of it. You get a little bit of Iron Man Iron Spider versus Captain America. And then you get Cap versus Iron Man, because Iron Man suit reboots, and then gets a pretty good wallop into Captain America. Like, the mask is ripped and torn and everything, and then you get a whole bunch more fighting. And then you get the appearance of Thor. And obviously, no one was expecting Thor to take any sides in this, and that is where this issue ends.
Yep. Actually, everyone thinks Thor's dead because the Ragnarok event recently happened, so everyone thinks Thor's just dead.
Yes.
So Thor comes back, and we see everyone's reaction to him. Everyone saying "My God" and is all like worried about because they know they're gonna lose. Like Thor's there. There's a god there. Like, there's no chance. So,
well, they do have Hercules on Cap's side, so they shouldn't have been that worried. Considering, but
so everyone's like, okay, it's time to pack up and get out of here. And then we see Tony trying to talk to Captain America about just give up. Come on, like, we're friends here. This is another reason why I think the Civil War movie is better than the comic, because I don't really like Captain America's characterization in this book. I mean, he feels more like an angry grandpa to me than like a super soldier in this book. Like, he literally says, "You really think I'm gonna fall to someone like to some pompous punk like you?" And I'm like, Captain America wouldn't say that to Tony.
Yeah, no. He still wanted to be friends, but he knew that even though they disagreed, that he didn't have to be a jerk about it.
Yeah. So we get Hercules coming in and saving Cap, and he tells Falcon to make sure he goes and recovers Captain America, because a piece of rubble is about to fall on top of him and, kill him. We get Goliath about to face off with Thor. It's going to be the most epic battle we've seen. Oh, no, Goliath just got a lightning bolt through the heart, and
lightning bolt. Okay.
And he's dead.
He threw the hammer through
Nope,
him,
he's dead now. And then Thor attempts to strike down all of the rest of the heroes with a bolt of lightning, before Sue Storm creates a force field around them and prevents that from happening. They use Cloak to teleport them out of there, and they're all back at their base.
Does Sue stay behind, or does she them? Okay.
Yeah, Sue stays behind. She has a little confrontation.
She confronts Reed.
Yeah, she has a little confrontation with Reed. We see Peter starting to show some signs of regret about what's going on, and the Watcher's back. Then we get to Captain America's team. We're still with Iron Man's team. Everyone getting patched up. Everyone trying to lick their wounds, and we find out that the Thor that appeared was actually a clone with a robotic tech hammer. We see Yellow Jacket and Peter have a little interaction where Hank Pym is really.
Did you say Tech Jacket?
No, I said Yellow Jacket. Did I say Tech Jacket?
I think you did say Tech Jacket.
Well, we see.
I was like, wait a second. Did he just say Tech Jacket?
Well, we see Yellow Jacket and Peter have a little conversation where Hank is very upset about the loss of one of his oldest friends, Bill Foster, who was obviously Goliath. And we see Peter start to get a little more skeptical about what's going on Iron Man's side. He's not very happy with the fact someone just died. We then see Captain America discussing things with his team, talking about how it's okay, we're going to have more people come over to our side now, it's fine. Which also another thing where Captain America's characterization is a little off. Like, he's talking about how this is a good thing that Goliath died because it's going to bring more people to his side. He should be, like, mourning the loss of one of his friends. He shouldn't be, like...
He knows war, but he also knows that this is a different kind of war. Like, he definitely should.
Yeah, and then we see a couple of members of Cap's side leaving. He just lets them go. We then get the funeral for Ben Foster, aka Goliath, where the mother from the funeral before comes back and gives Iron Man a little toy action figure version of Iron Man and says it was her son's favorite toy and to remember why he's doing this. At the funeral, we see Reed Richards looking at Peter Parker and his family saying that Peter looks a little suspicious, and I'm like, he's got like, dude, what?
You're looking a little sus there, Peter.
Yeah, and then we see Sue writing the letter to Reed and eventually leaving with Johnny. She leaves the kids there with Reed, so I mean, hopefully he takes care of them. You know.
Yeah.
Do you think he's gonna pay attention enough to give them food?
See, I feel like Sue Storm knows Reed enough that she would not have left the kids there.
Well, she does say in the letter that children shouldn't be underground hiding in the sewers.
Yes.
So
I do agree with that part, but leaving them in Reed's care, I can understand leaving them in the Thing's care, but the Thing is already on Cap's side.
No, the Thing's actually hasn't taken a side.
No, he's in Cap's side when, he shows up when they start the confrontation because that
he's on Iron Man's side, but after this, Reed. So this is how the Fantastic Four splits. Johnny and Sue go over to Cap's side. The Thing stays neutral and he steps back. I think in the Fantastic Four tie-in, he actually goes to like France or something to get away from everything.
Yeah.
And Reed stays on Iron Man's side.
Man.
And then we see Yellow. Who is it? Oh, we see the Wasp and Reed Richards going through this sort of government building area where it's revealed that Tony Stark, Iron Man, has put together a team consisting of Thunderstrike, Venom, Bullseye, Taskmaster, and a bunch of other villains calling themselves the Thunderbolts. And this is where the book kind of loses me.
See,
does Tony still think he's a good guy when he's recruiting a mass murderer like
Venom?
Venom?
Of all of those heroes or those villains trying to make them into heroes, Venom is the one that I disagree with the most because literally it's not the person inside. Like sometimes it is, but like if the symbiote gets off of that guy, like he's useless. Like
and at this point, it's not even Eddie Brock as Venom. Yeah, it's Matt Gargan. It's Scorpion.
Yeah,
and also Bullseye. Like he's a mass murderer. Like what are you doing?
They do have the implant bombs, right?
Yep. They said they don't even say bombs. They just say they're chipped so we can track them. So
I thought later it's revealed that they're bombs, and if they disobey orders, they'll literally blow their heads off. Which also doesn't really help Iron Man's side at all. He's literally like, we're going to use these guys, and if they don't obey, we're going to shoot them. We're going to blow their heads off. Like, what?
Yeah, I think both sides in this movie are I think that's what the Civil War movie did better. It showed you how both sides, you could actually side with them. But in this book, it feels like either way you go, you're like, wow, I'm at the extreme on this one.
It's like, I'm either there, or I'm all the way over here, or I'm all the way over here.
It's kind of the inverse, where Cap is more set in his ways, and in the movie, Iron Man's more set in his ways.
Yeah. But anyway, so now we cut to Johnny saving Sue. I guess they're under attack by S.H.I.E.L.D. forces. They get away, and S.H.I.E.L.D's trying to follow them. We get... I don't recognize this guy.
Yeah, I don't know who that is either.
He's got a yellow...
bird on his chest?
A bird, but it also looks kind of like one of the spider symbols with a bird head.
I just skip over that part.
But, yeah, so I don't know who it is there.
They're basically just going to join Iron Man's side.
They switched over from Cap's side, and then we get Spider-Man versus Iron Man, and Spider-Man absolutely dismantles Iron Man, and escapes. And so then we get the Thunderbolts again, and I guess their first mission is to chase Spider-Man. Of all the people you could be sending to chase Spider-Man, you're literally sending like Venom and Hobgoblin and like
I think
all these people who would love to kill him.
Yeah, I don't think, and it's Jack-o'-lantern. It's not even Hobgoblin.
Not even Hobgoblin. It's Jack-o'-lantern. Yeah. But yeah, so they go after him. He's taken out by them. See, also, I don't like this part because he's beaten these guys multiple times before without the Iron Spider suit.
Yeah, I think,
and he loses to these guys.
yeah,
with
the thing that I
suit.
think happens is they do come in out of nowhere, which I mean, you could be like Spider Sense, but he's in the sewers right now. So if you're like in this one tiny enclosed space, and then all of a sudden like 12 people come in who all want to beat your ass, like you're not doing much.
Yeah.
Even if you're Spider-Man.
But yeah, so they manage to get the drop on him, and then Punisher shows up and kills both of them. And so then Peter passes out. We get a chase on 32nd Street. We get who are these two? Oh, it's Johnny and Sue. In disguise. I was like, wait a second, that's not right. And then but they go into the hideout for Captain America. You get the iconic scene with Punisher carrying Peter into the room. Oh man, just one of the better parts of this story for sure. And then Captain America gets him a stretcher and everything, and they bring him in, get him medicalized, and then we get Punisher essentially saying they're throwing killers at us now, like they're getting desperate, essentially, is what he's saying. And I think, is that Monica Rambeau?
I think it's meant to be, yeah.
Yeah. So she is like, oh yeah, no, there's a lot of irony in throwing all these super powered killers at us.
Seeing as they think they're on the side of the good guys.
As they're trying to claim the moral high ground. Then we cut to Hell's Kitchen, and Daredevil's gotten captured by She-Hulk and Reed Richards. And then we get the reveal that they've been hiding all the heroes in the negative zone.
That's what 42 was. You got a little hint at that earlier in the book.
Which is the 42
prison, yeah.
And so then we get pretty great part here where Daredevil gives Tony Stark a silver coin, and he goes, guess that's 31 pieces of silver you got now, huh? And he says, sleep well, Judas. And that's the end of that issue.
Yep. You want to know something that's going to ruin that scene for you?
What?
That's not Matt Murdock.
That's not Matt Murdock. I mean, it's still good.
That's Danny Rand.
That's still a good scene.
I know, but it just... it would have worked a lot better if it was Matt Murdock.
I mean, it definitely would have been better, but it's still good.
Yep. So then we see some superheroes helping out around the world, you know, saving some people, doing all this stuff. We see some other things going on at S.H.I.E.L.D., which isn't really important. We see the clone of Thor getting some surgery done. They're trying to add in a few mental blocks to make sure he can't, you know, kill anybody
anyone
anymore.
else.
We get Punisher sneaking into Tony Stark's base of operations, trying to get some information. And then we get Sue Storm visiting Namor. Yep, I think what happens here is Sue is trying to convince Namor to come over to the side of Captain America, because, I mean, if you have the whole ocean on your side, you kind of won.
You've won at that point.
Yep. We then see everybody coming back. We see Spider-Man is fully healed from all the damage he took against those villains. We get a meeting where Peter's like, there's some stuff that Tony's saying that is true. We need to be more careful. And Steve is like, no, I'm good on that. And then we obviously get, well... I don't know why I'm saying we obviously get... Yeah, obviously. And then we see Punisher just mowing down these supervillains, and then Cap just straight beats the shit out of him right on the spot.
He likes to censor again. Two episodes in a row,
man. He domes him with his shield, beats him to a pulp, and then we see that we have a traitor amongst us. I think it's like this tiger lady or something calls.
I can't remember her name. I know the male guy is Puma, but I can't remember her name.
And then we get Uatu the Watcher visiting Doctor Strange. They have their conversation about what's going on. And then we see the Captain America side attempting to... we see Captain America side attempting to break into the Prison 42, which we obviously have Iron Man and his whole side waiting there for them because they know they're coming. We see a quick standstill where they all decide to try and discuss things and talk things out before Captain America's side rushes at Iron Man's. Yep. Which, by the way, this whole conflict should be over before it started, seeing as they have Miss Marvel and Sentry on their side.
On Cap side?
Iron
Or
Man side.
Man's
I don't.
Okay, so
I mean, the most powerful hero they have on this side is Hercules, and we already saw he was beaten before.
well, they also have Spider-Man now. That gives them a little bit of a fighting chance.
Yeah, I guess.
But yeah.
And that's the end of that issue.
So then, after that, we get the start of this one, the Negative Zone, and Captain America shouting, "Avengers Assemble." And then we get a whole bunch of fighting. I think they're still using the villains even in this fight here. Iron Man side.
Yeah, Venom's there and some other people.
Taskmaster's here beating up the crap out of people. Spider-Man's here. He gets to fight. What's this girl's name?
Thunderstrike. Or
That-
no, not
no,
Thunderstrike.
that's-
The Wolverine villain.
Yeah.
Um,
Man, I know her name. Why can't I think of it?
Deathstrike?
Deathstrike. Deathstrike is, yeah. So Spider-Man fights Deathstrike. You get Cloak. He's trying to transport from the Negative Zone back to Earth, which would be extremely difficult even for him. And he manages to do it. He drops all of the heroes into the streets right outside the Baxter Building. And so then the fight from the Negative Zone takes place on the streets.
Of New York City.
On the streets of New York City, right outside the Baxter Building, you have panels of destruction everywhere. Spider-Man dodging many, many different heroes and taking on Reed Richards, and you get Reed Richards saying amazing, and then Spider-Man saying spectacular. A pretty fun.
It would have been better if he had said fantastic.
And then Deathstrike and that would have been really funny. Deathstrike and Venom are trying to kill Captain America, so all of these serial killers are trying to kill Captain America at the orders of Iron Man. And then Namor shows up. Namor is there to even the playing fields. You get She-Hulk and Iron Man fighting.
He's such a
I mean, that's been his whole character from the start.
Well, I mean, he started out as like a World War II hero, and then he met Sue
yeah.
Storm, and he was like, please,
please, blondes! There's no blondes underwater!
we only have redheads! Which also, what are you complaining about, dude? Listen, Sue, if you leave your husband, you'll have the whole ocean. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, that's not the conversation.
I'm the master of the seas, if you know what I'm saying.
But anyway, so then you have all of the forces of Atlantis joining into the fight. You get the reappearance of the Ragnarok Thor. Vision comes out and takes out Iron Man's suit. So Cap starts a beatdown on Iron Man, paralleling the first fight they had. Then Hercules versus the clone of Thor. Then you have Ben Grimm showing up. The Thing. He was in France. He says, "You really think I was gonna sit this one out eating croissants?"
I would.
And then Taskmaster goes to shoot Sue. And Reed Richards jumps in the way. And I don't know if Taskmaster's dead, but probably is, considering how strong Sue is.
I mean, Taskmaster dies in the MCU, she dies in the MCU, he dies in the comics, you know, it just works.
Yeah, and so then Hercules picks up the fake hammer, and he kills the Ragnarok Thor, and then you get Captain America beating the armor off of Iron Man, and then as he's about to strike the killing blow, he's stopped by civilians, and they're pulling him back from.
Yep, I think it's a firefighter, a medic, a police officer, and a civilian.
We get there's two cops, there's one firefighter, and I think these are supposed to be EMTs.
Yep.
No, there's another cop in the background too.
Yep.
So quite a few cops all holding him back.
Yep, they were definitely drawing on some 9/11 imagery in this comic right here.
Yeah.
The true heroes.
Yeah, and so they hold him back, and it makes him stop and see all the damage that was done from their fighting. And so then he turns himself in and tells everyone to stand down, leaves his mask behind, and then you get a letter from Reed Richards talking about everything that was going on. And then Spider-Man changes back to black suit Spider-Man. I assume that it's not supposed to be symbiote.
No, it's the cloth version.
Yeah,
I think
it is supposed to be the cloth version.
The implication is that this is when after Aunt May gets shot.
Oh, is it
in the chronology?
After?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think this is like setting up all the books that are going to take place after this.
Okay. But yeah, so then you get all the breakdown of everyone essentially giving into the Superhero Registration Act. Aside from a few select heroes, Sue leaves Reed, and then we go to the Helicarrier, and Captain America, or Iron Man, and Maria Hill are talking about a whole bunch of different things, and they bring up 42, and a whole bunch of stuff, and then that's it. That's the end. Yeah, but as comic book storylines go, I do like this one better than I like The Dark Knight Returns. Just because the last issue of Dark Knight Returns gets so confusing. Like, you can actually tell what's going on for all of this one.
Yep. I would agree. I think that The Dark Knight Returns was such a transformative book.
Oh,
for
yeah,
the
for sure.
era,
Not denying that.
But it still does hold up today, but it is that last issue that really
It's definitely
throws
a
it off.
rougher thing than some of these other ones.
And I think one of the reasons is because this book plays everything so safe.
Yeah, and I would agree that
Where with
it
Dark Knight
does,
Returns,
like,
it kind of took like bigger swings, bigger shots. I know you hate when I say that, but whatever. But this book does try and stay very safe. It's very basic. One hero disagrees with the other hero. They have different sides.
Yeah.
They fight.
But again, I think this, even just
The
the
scope?
seven main issues had like 5 different writers. So understandable how some of the stuff doesn't cohesively fit quite as well as some of the other things. Like, I think consistency wise, I do agree with you. I think there's certain parts where it's like Cap seems more right and more well drawn out, and then there's other times where it's like, oh, you're a pompous jerk, like I'm not gonna come on your side, like, and it's like it feels a little bit
These damn kids.
yeah, but overall I do like the event a lot. I think when we get to Fear itself, I think that one's only got 2 writers on it, and it's much better written. But I think Civil War is better overall.
It's a fantastic idea, but
Yes.
I don't know if the execution was the best it could be.
Yeah, for sure. And I haven't read Civil War 2. I've got a couple of issues of it.
I've read some of it. It's not as good.
Yeah, no. It's definitely not as good as this one. It doesn't fix the issues that I have with this one. And I think the issues in this one are easy enough to overlook, like, aside from the Spider-Man thing for me, because it's so against his character, but a lot of the other things are so in character for certain people aside from like Cap, like Sue Storm and Reed Richards, like their infighting is consistent. Like that's kind of the Fantastic Four in like 80% of their runs.
Yeah, I mean, this honestly feels more like a Fantastic Four book than an Avengers book in some ways.
Yeah.
We literally end the book with a letter written by Mr.
by
Fantastic.
Reed,
We get like whole issues where like the main problem is like Sue's
Sue
issue
and
with
Reed.
Reed. Like we literally have the Fantastic Four logo right here. We get most of the team on the front of the book.
Yeah. No, you definitely get a lot more Fantastic Four than any other.
And that was a problem we brought up when we reviewed the movie for Civil War. And I think that's the thing. You can have the huge scope like this book did, or you could have the solid story like the movie did. Because the movie, while it didn't have all the expansive characters and didn't have all the plot, the settings and all the different things happening at the same time that you do have in this. It's also a much more condensed and better story than in this book.
Aside from the Sokovia Accords itself, like I think that they should have leaned a little bit more into the instigating factor, where they're like, "Hey, you guys are someone kids are looking up to, kids who are suddenly finding themselves with superpowers and trying to do what you're doing." Like, I would have preferred that rather than going straight into Age of Ultron and being like, "Oh, this Sokovia thing happened because of you," like all this stuff, like you guys tried to stop the world from ending and that's your fault. Like, what?
Well, in the Civil War movie, it was less about what happened in Sokovia, and it was more about what happened with Scarlet Witch when they blew up that tower. Which,
but even then,
I did like the way they translated it from this, where you had Speedball fighting Nitro, and then the elementary school explodes. Because obviously, if an entire elementary school full of children is all of a sudden wiped out, there's going to be a lot of backlash on superheroes for that. Where I think it's less about where if, like, a bomb hit the side of the building and killed, 20 people?
Yeah.
I mean,
compared to the hundreds of thousands of people who would have died if the disease they stole got away,
Yeah, because the reason for what happened here is literally just they went in, they were too cocky, they didn't know who they were up against, and they screwed up.
Also, they were inexperienced.
Yeah, so they're like a teenage superhero team trying to go up against these super powered individuals.
And I think what would have fixed the Civil War movie, just because obviously they're connected and you can't really fight me on that, but I think what would have fixed the Civil War movie is if they brought an element of that in and they were like, "Hey, you've now got kids looking up to you, kids who are suddenly finding themselves with powers, trying to do something like that."
Yeah.
Maybe even have someone who's like, "Oh, I feel like Spider-Man," and jumps off a building. Like something like that to bring a more you guys need to show yourselves as something other than just
Which I think that's what they tried doing with the Spider-Man character in the Civil War movie.
Yeah, but
it just didn't
translate
well. Yeah,
but yeah. So overall, I like this story a lot.
I do as well.
I think the death of Goliath is a really good spot. I think aside from Jack-o'-lantern and the other one, I can't remember who the other one who gets shot by Punisher when they're attacking Spider-Man.
You said Jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah, there's another one there, but
I don't
know. Not super important. But there's 3 characters that really die in this. A 7 comic book run that ends with such a huge part. It should have had a little bit more consequence. Yes, there was a lot of consequences, but in the story itself, not until the end do you actually see the consequence. So having a little bit more loose of oh, these people are dying and stuff, yeah. But other than that, I like it a lot.
Yep.
Any other thoughts from you?
I don't think so. I think we covered everything.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for watching the second episode of the Comic Book Club. The next book we are going to be reviewing is Batman Hush. Make sure to tune in 2 weeks to see that video. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and do all the things. Come check out our other shows. We are currently rewatching and reviewing the entirety of the MCU in lead up for Avengers Secret Wars, which we're having a fun time over there doing that.
Oh yeah.
And we'll see you in the next video. So with all that said, thanks for watching and goodbye.